Hello, everybody. This is Gabriel again with ODE, Online Digital Education Group, Facebook community of educators that collaborate. Yeah, they collaborate, they share with each other, so that everybody can succeed, so that everybody can ascend the value ladder of life, so that everybody can have a resource, a supportive community, so that you can really do amazing things with your educational experience. And I'm happy to say hello again to you guys. Today is Saturday, and it is June 5th, and this is episode 137. And I look so forward to talking to you about this. And today's, episode is titled Life Coaching for Teachers Saved My Life. So let me give you my quick disclaimer. Please know that this is not for those who continuously make excuses or are expecting to get rich overnight. There's no instant gratification. There is no, false promises or false guarantees. This is a community of high quality people, and everybody has the same kind of, stresses in life. So it is just a collaboration of good people who need a solution for that. And this is an opportunity to be part of that. I am a part of that, and I will be guiding you towards your personal success. And it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes dedication. So if this is not something that you're willing to put in, then this is not for you. And if you're looking to start and then quit in the next few weeks or months just because it takes work, then you're better off doing the same stuff that you've been doing, and this is definitely not for you. And again, that's okay, because a lot of people are very unsure of themselves, and it has everything to do with how we think, right? And we want things instantly nowadays. That's the digital era. But if you did start and quit, congratulations, really. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because a lot of people wouldn't even make the effort. And if you made the effort, you're just one step closer to understanding and believing that you're more magnificent than you truly give yourself credit for. So thank you for that. So let me start you off with a quote by Tony Robbins. Everybody knows Tony Robbins. He's been around for about 40 years, personal development, and he is a no-nonsense kind of guy. And if you want to be coached by Tony Robbins for 1 year, you got to pay $1 million. Good news is you don't have to pay $1 million to go at it alone, or at this time, with somebody else. Because there's a lot of life coaches out there who do the same work, and they do it with absolute benevolence. They want the best for you. So let me quote Tony Robbins. He says, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. And that's modeling. When you model somebody's success, and you learn from that success, you start to understand that, I can do this as well, and this is one of the things that saved my life, modeling success. But you gotta invest the time, you gotta work, you gotta commit, and you gotta dedicate to your greater self to be able to do that. I was looking for some kind of change last year. And at the beginning of the zombie pandemic, and my thoughts were like, just as traditional as apple pie, and completely, in a comfort zone. And I was unwilling to explore areas of discomfort so I can grow and explore opportunities for myself online. Now, whether it is moving from your current circumstance to a slightly better place, or to totally transform your life to a new level, complacency is a killer of forward progress. When we're complacent, we stay stagnant, we become fearful. And I found that I have plenty of educational and life experience to offer and create a new path in life that makes me feel fulfilled. With so many public opinions about how to make money online, few of these resources focused on a true solution to help me get started. In fact, they mostly talk about that instant gratification of making money in 30 days. I did fall for that shit a couple of times a few years back. And, I was very weary. I was like, I'm not going to go, into that again. What I needed most was to optimize my mindset, my brain, and adapt habits to help me have outcomes I desired as an online educator. I did buy an amazing 30-day challenge with ClickFunnels, and I really mean that, amazing. And I learned how to market myself. That is definitely one thing I strongly recommend all educators do. I paid $100 for this 30-day challenge, and I did find myself completely overwhelmed and inundated with, just so many ways to monetize my educational experience. But I struggled, and the only thing that I could do was adapt that no quit mentality to make it happen for myself. Yet I was not monetizing online, and I did. I felt very frustrated many times. Believe me when I tell you that we are our own worst enemies, and we got that ear in our voice, that self-talk that we give ourselves. It's defeating at a deep level. Just the same, I did not quit on myself. I kept learning, and I realized that for me personally, my way of thinking was keeping me from achieving my goals. And I came across a book called The New Psychology of Success. And there I found the starting point of my false beliefs to succeed. You see, the magical formula that saved my life and works well with the inner self, to help individuals self-manage and attain better outcomes in life was, it still is, a growth mindset. And what that means is having a willingness to understand the way I think and to change my false BS. And I mean belief system. Practicing positive mindset in my daily life helps me become aware of my behavior, helps me become aware of my belief systems and my emotions. Empowerment thinking transformed my life by giving me skills to handle my career, to handle relationships and family problems, and as well to manage my stress levels. So understand this, you're not broken, just a little messed up, and your brain does need maintenance. That's it. So a growth mindset, provides techniques that help in the following ways. And believe me that everyone on the planet needs a dose of this. You do. The education system does not teach you how to do this for personal success. You don't learn how to eliminate unwanted habits. You don't learn how to motivate yourself. They don't teach how to identify gaps in strategies or eradicate phobias and fears. They don't teach how to set goals, at least not in the most productive or self-productive way, so that you can be a success on your own. See, there's an unconscious link between how the brain works and our behaviors. And that's a proven scientific fact that the mind and the body is so connected that if you think it, you feel it. It really works just like that. The language patterns that we use reveal our life experiences and the posture that we take in life. It is a scientific fact, that when we believe that all these components are changed, we have the ability to improve our lives. For example, our five senses involves pictures, sounds, feelings, touch, smell, and taste. And this is on a daily basis. So becoming adept at understanding how, one processes their senses, that's highly advantageous, to a position to be in, like, wow, I understand what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, what I'm touching, what I smell. Our minds constantly run unconscious emotional and mental programs. Most of the time, we're not even aware of them. If a program works for us, it's fine. But if it sabotages our best efforts and we don't achieve our desired goals, then it becomes a problem. The focus is to delete such unhelpful programs and replacing them with more productive ones. So here's the number one technique that saved my life. and has made me successful online educator. Eliminate your fears. Yeah, I know it sounds easier said than done, but believe me when I tell you, okay, it is simple. It's not easy because it requires the habit of. One of the benefits of practicing NLP is getting rid of fears. People with fears suffer from anxiety, and the quality of life goes like this, diminishes. The process involves disassociating oneself completely from the negative emotional experience, in contrast with traditional phobia treatments that require repeated exposure, to the subject of fear, and you keep repeating that. It doesn't eliminate it, it just nurtures that fear. It is one of the few techniques which requires a practitioner to stick closely to the process. Carried out successfully, it's like magic. In just one session, the client is free from the cloud they've been living under for years. Neuro-linguistic programming, which is NLP, is fast and efficient. It is non-invasive and safe. But once the program is interrupted, it is gone forever. In other words, if you stop, applying this to yourself, you're not going to have the same results. You're going to fall back. The whole point of NLP is to be able to identify that fear, replace it with a positive, momentum, and keep moving forward, building that confidence. As NLP techniques, use all the 5 senses for visualization, it is fundamental that you prime your unconscious mind as to what your goal could look like once it is achieved. And this gives you clarity and definition to the goal and creates a magnetic attraction to go out and get it. Your mind starts to believe that fear that you cannot just goes away. And now you're thinking, I can, and I will. And because you can, you will. So last but not least, installing the goal in your future, involves placing the vision of your success on your future timeline. The benefits of practicing NLP ensures that your unconscious mind and energy are aligned with your desired outcome. This is powerful. If you care to learn it, NLP will transform your life and integrate it into the point that you embody it. You become this person that you can be. If you're aware that your beliefs, emotions, and behavior drive your experience, chances are you already are practicing NLP in your daily life. There's no doubt about it. The benefits of practicing NLP will certainly have a positive impact on your life. Having the tools at hand means that if you're facing any of the situations described, you can always explore the relevant NLP techniques to resolve your way out. My greater purpose is helping everyday people realize their magnificence, with empowerment thinking for success. Book your discovery session with me today and receive an 8-week purposeful package to empower your life with. The goal of life coaching is to give teachers a positive outcome by rebuilding their BS. Their belief system, not the other one that you're thinking about. Optimizing their confidence and monetizing their online educational experience for success. This is just the starting point. Empowerment thinking for success will help you realize your success in personal health, wealth, and make you wiser as you start to live a magnificent life of abundance. And I truly mean that. You start off with 4 figures a month, monetizing your educational experience, and then all of a sudden, when you just keep gaining that confidence and removing that fear, you'll start to see 5 figures a month. And we're not going to go beyond that, but the whole point is that the sky's the limit. There are no limitations when you believe you can, when you eliminate those fears. So no roadblocks means the stratosphere. So remember, you're magnificent. I believe you're magnificent. You should believe that you're magnificent. Let me know and leave a comment, or come visit me right here on the ODE community on Facebook. This is where educators hang out and they collaborate with each other for the purpose of actually sharing and helping each other ascend, helping each other succeed in life, which is a beautiful thing, and this empowers you, to be able to just move on further, and just create, educational experiences for students online that need your solution. Leave a comment on my, newsfeed or visit me on Messenger. Leave me a private message. I respond to comments and questions on a daily basis. I look forward to seeing your personal success and interviewing you live on the ODE community so that we can share and celebrate your successes, your wins. 688,000 people is my personal goal over the next 5 years. I would just love it if you were one of them. So my name again is Gabriel, and I am with ODE, Online Digital Education, community on Facebook of educators that collaborate with each other. Today is Saturday, June 5th, and this has been episode 137. Life coaching for teachers saved my life. It can save yours too. Thank you very much for showing up today. I look forward to your comments and questions. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you and God bless.